Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. So today I'm again reviewing yet another obscured low-budget horror flick because, well, I like talking about movies from the past, and also the fact it's horror related and the fact it's low budget is another reason I would like to talk about this. It seems like something I would talk about. It seems like something that's up my alley, and I figured, why not? I just talk about horror films no matter what, no matter what the month is, no matter what the week is, no matter what the day is, because as I said multiple times before, and for those who don't know, as far as I'm concerned, Halloween is a year-round thing. So of course, I'm talking about something spooky, something weird, of course. So for this one is the one titled "The Devil's Messenger," folks. Is the title of this film. Yeah, it's supposed to be this anthology type horror movie containing 3 episodes of the 1959 black and white Swedish TV series titled Three Demon Street, which was never broadcasted in the United States, with some new scenes featuring one of the more popular actors, I guess you can say. This feature version of the series is the closest to the US coming to the scene the TV series, although the entire series is now available on DVD, I believe. So it's one of these situations where they took 3 episodes of a series that was actually much longer and just stitched together with new scenes and just used this as a way to create a whole new movie. Well, in a way. And having to tell like a few separate stories with this individual as a part of the narration in some kind of way, I guess you can say. So there's that. So kind of like having Satan talk about some things here, I suppose. Well, at least this movie's version of Satan, anyway. But as always, let's talk about the story, shall we? So here we go. So, like I was saying, that there's a few different stories. It's an anthology type movie. The film has this very old woman has found frozen in ice, and there's also this man's death that was pretty much foretold in a dream, and there's also the Saint's plans to blow up the Earth with atomic weapons, of course. So yeah, it gets pretty damn serious, I guess you can say. So pretty much, there are these Saint Elites with the help of this victim in hell to lure unexpected earthly individuals, these victims, to their eternal doom. So yeah, pretty much containing three unrelated, somewhat unrelated episodes, of course. And this kind of like a Twilight, the TV series, from what I know, it's kind of like the Twilight Zone, so to speak, because each end of episode is supposed to be like its own self-contained story. But for the movie, it kind of uses this format as an anthology type thing going on here. I mean, there were horror movies like this in before, so yeah, this was not the only type horror movie, and they had like an authority type of thing. And of course, it'd be Satan over here. Satan is, of course, not gonna be up to no good, like at all, whatsoever. So that's gonna be going on, obviously. So ultimately, yeah, there's gonna be this type of thing going on. It gets kind of weird, I guess. The devil himself, it knows there's something that's he's up to no good. Is what I'm saying. He's up to no good whatsoever. So ultimately, that's basically what this is pretty much centering around, really, when you think about it. Here's the thing, though, when it comes to these specific type of horror movies, these anthology type storytelling in the horror genre, they can be a hit or a miss, mostly a miss, because these types of horror movies, these specifically anyway, are typically not very good. At least those that I watched and reviewed. So there's that. I mean, it can be pretty tricky in some ways because none of these stories are related. I mean, they were connected through the horror, but that's about it. How can you keep these type of stories interesting with that in mind? You had to come up with something brand new, like for each individual story, which in itself is pretty complicated in some ways, I guess. For me personally, I don't mind it really if it's done right. Actually, yes, I realize that not a whole lot of people would speak about this kind of stuff really. At least not a whole lot of people where I'm hanging around with anyway. So you can consider that as a bad thing because I don't know, maybe not a whole lot of people are interested in that kind of thing really because maybe some people out there don't see the point in this specific type of storytelling. I suppose. I mean, again, I don't mind it if it's done well, if it's done correctly. I guess you can say so. Honestly, it's not really my problem really if it's done right, but it just depends on the writing. It's not my cup of tea really when it comes to this kind of storytelling. It's not my cup of tea really, but if it's done right, if it's done good, then it should be fine. Then you don't really see the harm in it really if it's done well enough. The devil, Satan here has this little thing, this like little round thing right here, which I thought was a cool little detail that they had here. I like that actually. But obviously, this is going to deal with temptations as one would expect. Nevertheless, I thought this was pretty entertaining in its own little way. I didn't mind it really. Yes, of course, it's low budget, it's obscured, but that's fine by me because I prefer to watch these types of movies anyway, like stuff that not a whole lot of people talk about. At least most of the time. Most of the time, I would do that, of course, on this channel. And of course, it may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I don't care. I'm not the one to follow trends anyway. But that's just me personally. Anyway, I'll give this an overall rating of a 7.0 out of 10. It's a 7.0 out of 10 for me. So, of course, as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh, yeah, later.